Hello, welcome back to my channel. An hour in a dream right now. I have an hour to shoot this before I have to go to class and I have 50% left on my camera. So I might not get all this done. Let's do it, let's get into it. You've read the title, you know what you're watching, let's do it. These are my top 10 films of 2023. I am uploading this in February 2024. Is this late? Yes. Do I care? Partly, yes. But it's also late because I hadn't seen everything. So I felt like I couldn't make a top 10 list. I still haven't seen everything. I haven't seen The Iron Claw and The Boy and the Heron. I haven't seen that either. I missed that one. It had its theatrical here. I also haven't seen American Fiction. That could be on here too. That's another one. It's on my list. I'm going to go see it sometime this week, but I want to make this video. It'll come up at some point in the future on my channel probably, and that's when I'll let you know if it was a major affecting thing and could have been on here. So let's just do it. Those are the ones I haven't seen. This is the honourable mentions. There's not as many as I did in my albums one. There is 8. There's 8 here that didn't make the top 10. I actually wrote this once and some of these were in the top 10 and I took them out because I rethought it and I rejigged it about. And there's other stuff I seen that I added in. Here we go. Honourable mentions. Dream Scenario, directed by Christoph Bergoli. Nicolas Cage in Dreams is like a match made in heaven. There was not a better actor they could have got to do this. And he is great in it. I was expecting this to be like a laugh out loud comedy. There was points that I did laugh. I thought it was funny. But it was also quite disturbing. Surprisingly, I didn't expect it to be as disturbing as it was at points. But that one shot that has Nicolas Cage appearing out of a dark corner will sit with me forever because I didn't know if I should be scared or if I should find it funny, which is kind of the feeling behind this.
I guess I'll see you in my dreams.
Yeah, of course not.
The next one is Walter, directed by, I'm just going to put his name here. I'm not going to even try and attempt it because it would be offensive. This is listed as a 2022 release, but because it's theatrical this year, I'm kind of biased towards it because it's made where I'm from. So I have a connection to it in that way. Good story, nice comedy. I would recommend it if you haven't heard of it. Next one is Priscilla, Sofia Coppola. Yeah, Sofia Coppola just knows how to make really well made, goddamn good films. This was great. I thought the performances were very good. I thought it was so nicely blocked. It was all very well laid out and the editing was good. Good score, good music. Just a solid film overall that does everything pretty much good and well. Next one is Godzilla Minus One, Takashi Yamazaki. Godzilla Minus One, I always said about Godzilla is Godzilla has the potential to be class. They just have to get the human bit right. And in this film, I can happily say they got the human bit right. I wasn't bored watching the humans in a Godzilla film. That's like a first for me. I've heard the original Godzilla is very, very good, but I've never seen it. I've only really seen the Western ones, and we all know how they go. But Godzilla Minus One is great. They've done so much on a small budget, and is probably one of, if not the best, Godzilla film ever made, from what I hear. Next one is Rye Lane. Very underrated film. Great rom-com. Love a good rom-com. Anyone But You, get that out of here. I haven't seen it, but is it as good as Rye Lane? Definitely not. I can already tell it's not as good as Rye Lane. I don't need to see it to understand that. Thank you very much. Rye Lane is directed by Rain Allen Miller. They've done a very good job. It's very stylized. It's very nice to look at, and the core leads are very good. Great film. The next one is Theatre Camp, a film that when I went to see it, I didn't expect to find it as funny as I did. It's just hilarious. Theatre Camp is so good. I never thought a Post Malone song would be so effectively used. Iowa Debris, I wish she was in it more. She's hilarious.
What is it? What is it?
That improv scene still sticks with me. I was laughing my head off in the theatre watching that. This film is co-directed by Molly Gordon, who is in The Bear, as you know, and Nick Lieberman. Very cool to look at. I like how it was done. Sort of found footage style thing they did. The next one is Asteroid City. This is one of the ones that was originally in the top 10, but I've dropped it. I've seen people say this is like one of the worst films of the year, and I baffles me because I think it's great. I think it's got an effective message about living your life. Just gotta keep going. I think it's the most Wes Anderson thing I've ever watched. That's a lie. Those short films he dropped on Netflix were they're the most Wes Anderson things I've ever seen. But this was up there. Yeah, I thought this was good.
Do I just keep doing it?
Yes.
Without knowing anything?
Yes.
Isn't there supposed to be some kind of an answer out there in the cosmic wilderness? Woodrow's line about the meaning of life.
Maybe there is one.
Right. Well, that's my question. I still don't understand the play.
Doesn't matter. Just keep telling the story.
And the last honourable mention, a controversial one, Beau is Afraid. I didn't put this in because I love giant dicks. I just put this in because I thought it was kind of cool and a bit wacky and a bit funny at points. I like Joaquin Phoenix here. I liked the antics. Was it long? Yes. Was it bloated? Yes. Was it a bit confusing at points? Yes. Was there a giant dick? Yes. Spoilers. I should have said that before. I just yeah, I don't know how to explain Beau is Afraid. If you have 3 hours of your time, give it a watch. If you don't want to watch a 3-hour weird eccentric black comedy thing with willies, that's fair enough. That's all my honourable mentions. That's them all 8 of them. As I said, there was the 3 that could have been on here. They could have been the top 10 or the honourable mentions. All good films. I'd all recommend giving them a watch, checking them out and giving them your time. Let's do it now. Let's do the top 10. Let's do what the main event is. Number 10. What? I'm not a big horror guy. I'm a bit of a pussy. Can't lie. Things scare me easily. But I do watch them. When I tell you that I loved Talk to Me, just believe it, man. Just believe it. This could be like almost guaranteed that I love this film. Like if you watched my Oscars video, you know I talked about how much I enjoyed it. And I think this is great. Michael Philippou and Danny Philippou, I don't know if I said that right. Those guys will never make me look at Ronald McDonald the same again. Anytime I see Ronald McDonald, I think of those guys. I've been watching them for years on YouTube. Always been a fan of them growing up. Their videos were crazy. I loved how stylish and cool they were and how inventive they were. And when I heard they were making this horror film, I was like, damn, this has got great potential. And it really lives up to it. They did a fantastic job. I want to highlight Sophie Wilde. I think she is brilliant. Gives one of the best performances of the year. She really commanded the screen and carried this film. She had a lot of pressure on her to do that. She delivers exceptionally. I really loved the practical effects. I love hair and makeup and the sound. Souls they interact with were so vivid and grotesque. And that really comes down to the hair and makeup and the style in there. And the sound is immense too. When the woman who drowned starts speaking, you hear that from like the water. That's cool. Still think about that bit where he starts banging his head against the tile. Still doesn't sit right with me. Yeah, best horror of the year for me. Really good. Number 10, Talk to Me. Number 9. My number 9 and number 8 really comes down to what I enjoyed as a child and my masculinity in a way. So my number 9 is Barbie. Greta Gerwig. Loved Barbie. If you told me 5 years ago, if you told little 14, 15-year-old me that I would be excited for the Greta Gerwig directed Barbie, I would have been like, get out of here. I don't want to talk to you. I wouldn't have even entertained the idea. I wouldn't have agreed with you. But then I watched Little Woman, and I love Little Woman. Talk for days about that film. It's amazing. Ever since then, I've been kind of excited. I've tracked the progression of this film. I remember it was like Anne Hathaway and stuff at points. And when Margot Robbie came aboard and Greta Gerwig was coming aboard, Noah Baumbach was coming aboard, and then Ryan Gosling and all these great actors and writers and creators were working on this film, I was like, okay, this is going to be really, really good. This has got mad potential. And it really lives up to that potential. For so many people, this would be their favorite film of the year. And I understand why. I completely get it. It's a very impactful story. It's a very moving story. I did feel moved by the story. It's in my top 10. That's all. It's number 9. It's great. It's funny. It's hilarious. The performances are really good. Ryan Gosling and Margot Robbie are great. And I just think it delivers exceptionally on many fronts and really deserves all the hype it gets and deserves to be the biggest film of the year because it is.
Take my hand. Now, close your eyes. Now feel.
Number 8 is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, directed by, there's 3 guys here. There's Joaquin Dos Santos, Justin K. Thompson, and Kemp Powers, but also the heavy influence of Phil Lord and Chris Miller too. I love Into the Spider-Verse. Easily in my top 10 favourite films ever. I think I still like it more than this one because I have a connection with that one. But this is just taking what that film did so well and just exemplifying it and times it by 10. Across the Spider-Verse is amazing. It is probably the best Spider-Man film ever made. I would admit that undeniably. The The stakes are huge. The impact on the Spider Universe, the Spider-Verse, is major. The characters are all fantastically written. The performances for this film are exceptional. Everyone delivers a good voice performance. I loved Oscar Isaac as Spider-Man 2099. Always been a fan of that character. He done so well. The big screen was amazing for 6-year-old me. Just a great film. Really great. Probably one of the best animated films ever. Everybody else since Into the Spider-Verse has been out here trying to do this stylized 3D style, and these guys just had to come back and just show everybody how it's done, because they did it so amazingly and exceptionally. Also, it not getting nominated for score, actually it not getting nominated in more categories outside of animation is kind of criminal, because it deserved the more recognition that it got, and the animators deserve as much praise as they're getting, because what they went through to make this is not right. And although this film is exceptional, we can't ignore the circumstances of its creation, but it is an amazing film and easily the best superhero film of this year, maybe the best of the decade.
Everyone keeps telling me how my story is supposed to go. Nah, I'm gonna do my own thing.
Number 7. Killers of the Flower Moon. Marty don't miss. Marty don't miss. Bring up the Snoop Dogg clip.
That motherfucker don't miss, man.
He's good.
In the heat of battle, he don't miss.
No.
In the heat of controversy, he don't miss.
No.
I feel like Martin Scorsese, as he gets longer and longer and older into his filmmaking career, he's become a lot more self-reflective in how he approaches his work. And this Mammoth film is an example of it. I can't explain it. This film, it's slow. It lingers. It takes its time. You really build this connection with the characters, and I feel like you don't realize how into it you are until the end of it. I still think about sequences and scenes from this film now, and I seen it months ago and I haven't seen it since. I will see it again. I just need to find the time, sit down for 3.5 hours and watch it again. The performance here across the board are fantastic. De Niro's really good, DiCaprio's good, Lily Gladstone is immense. I really hope she wins the Oscar. I would love to see it. This film deserves the praise. These big films by these big directors sometimes come out and they get a bit overhyped because of the name creating it, and that's fair enough because it's a big name and they have that level of biasy that's deserved for what they've done in their career. But Martin Scorsese continues to make great films, and this is an example of it, and I'm really excited to see where he goes next. I know he's talking about doing another Jesus movie with Daniel Day-Lewis. That will be great. I'd love to watch that. Killers of the Flower Moon, Martin Scorsese, great movie. Really enjoyed it. Number 6. Is it wrong of me to put this above Killers of the Flower Moon? Possibly. Is the film bro part of me thinking, what are you doing? Yes. Do I care? No, because I love this number 6. One of my more recent watches. Maybe there's a bias in that, but I still feel like I would sit down to watch my number 6 again before I sit down to watch Killers of the Flower Moon again. And my number 6 is Bottoms. I don't know how to say her name. Slayman? I'll go Emma Slayman. I was not on the Bottoms hype train for a while because I missed it in theaters, and I remember it coming out and everyone going, this is the best comedy of the year. Like, there's no way, because I really enjoyed Theatre Camp and I thought that was the best comedy of the year. But I was wrong. I realized the error of my ways. Bottoms is amazing. This movie is absurdist, and I completely love that it embraced its absurdism and just went for it. The last act, the ending of this film, is crazy. In a real world, it's quite tragic, but in the world of this film, it's so effective because they have this level of absurdity throughout the whole thing that it makes sense. It's also hilarious. I'm so glad Iowa Debris, I'm a big fan of Iowa Debris if you can't tell. I'm really glad she got to flex her skills in a lead role on the big screen because we really get to see her talents. The film, although hilarious and a bit out there, does have effective character building and effective characters within the story that you feel connected to, and it's just so much fun. Wow, it's just so much fun. Also, Marshawn Lynch is really good in this. He's hilarious. Just a great film. Yeah, Bottoms, really good. If you're a fan of crazy comedies that don't care what people think and really just go for it, I would recommend giving this a watch. But number 5, top 5, folks. Getting serious now. Top 5. That's what a top 5 is, Ryan. You don't have to explain that to them. This is my most recent watch on this list, and maybe that's why it's so high, but I was deeply moved by this film and the characters in it and the story behind it. So my number 5 is All of Us Strangers by Andrew Hay. Wow. This film, in a way, in its presentation and its story, is small and simple, but it's so expertly done, and it keeps you constantly questioning what is real and what isn't in a way that I haven't felt in a movie in a while. It slowly devolves. It starts out pretty mundane and pretty normal for a film like this, and the more you get into it and the more it unravels, the more it kind of messes with your head, and the more it gets into your head and really affects you. It affected me. I thought it was deeply moving story. It's not a long film either, so you can blast through it, and it's pretty well paced. Andrew Scott is fantastic. I'm really glad he's getting the flowers here. Been an actor I've been a fan of for a while, since his Sherlock days. Paul Mescal, Benedict Cumberbatch. The man is just going through all white woman's dreams and just, let's say, I'm doing my thing. Get out here. You wish you were me. Big fan of this film. I don't want to say much about it because I feel like if I say a lot about it, it'll kind of ruin what it is. So I feel like you should just watch it. All of Us Strangers. Very, very good moving film. Number 4 is actually my biggest shock. I don't think people would expect this film to be in a top 10 films of the year, to be honest. That's how big of a shock it is. But it's happening. I'm going to say it. My number 4. Oppenheimer by Christopher Nolan. Did you expect that? Did you? No. Exactly. I'm the only person ever that's put this in their top 10 films of the year. What do you want me to say about it? I could go in depth. Like, what else has to be said? It's good. It's great. It's amazing. Everything's done amazingly. It's got a good script. It's got great performances. It's got an A-list class. It's got good editing. It's got good music. It's got production design's really nice. The hair and makeup's great. Like, what else can I say? What else can I say? I don't need to say anything else. I'm just going to go on to my number 3, because if you haven't seen it, what are you doing? If you missed it, that's crazy. Not as crazy as missing Barbie. They came out the same day. Did you know that? I don't think they talked about that enough. Oppenheimer's really good. You should probably watch it if you like movies.
The important thing isn't can you read music, it's can you hear it. Can you hear the music, Robert? Yes, I can.
Number 3. I didn't expect to love my number 3 as much as I did, but it's Poor Things by Yorgos Lanthimos. A lot of people's number 1 could have been my number 1, but I don't feel like I liked it as much as my 2 and 1. What a great film, honestly. Crazy. Ever since I watched the trailer, I was like, damn, this is going to be great. And I got lucky because I got to see this early. It was the closing film at a film festival I went to. I seen this before a lot of people, and I was really hyping it up to so many people. And I think I convinced a good few people to go and see it because I talked about it that much. Because I loved it. Emma Stone is fantastic. Mark Ruffalo is amazing. I talked about it, how much I loved his performance in the Oscars video. The music's great. Bro hit the doohickey so hard. Yorgos Lanthimos is probably the only man that could have made this film. And I'm so glad he did get to make it, because he seems like he really wanted to, and he seemed really passionate and cared about it. Every aspect here is so top quality and so inventive and unique that I can't help but not love this movie. And if you watch it too, I have no doubt you will love it as much as I have. Poor Things, Yorgos Lanthimos. Check it out while it's in theaters. I think it's still in theaters right now, so I'd go and check it out. It's worth seeing on a big screen just because of how amazing of a spectacle it is at points. On 1 and 2, I still haven't decided which one I like more. My 1 and 2 are tight. I love them both so much. I think I'm going to stick with how it's written. But if you ask me like a week or 2 weeks from now, they will probably have swapped. And then if you ask me 2 weeks after that again, they would have swapped again. So my number 2, I'm going to go with The Holdovers, Alexander Payne. These are the best characters of the year. Best written characters of the year. This is maybe my favourite story of the year adapted to the big screen. I love the style. I love the presentation. I love the comedy, the emotion. Every line was so well written. They felt it had purpose. Couldn't stop watching. I was completely engrossed by this film, and it's a longer film. I just was so into it. I thought Paul Giamatti was fantastic. When people were like he could win over Cillian Murphy, I didn't believe it until I watched this. He could. He is just so... He really brings his power here, and he gives a performance here that I've never really seen him give. Such a deep connecting point, and he really conveys this character so fantastically. Dominic Sessa is very underrated too. This is his first feature. I wouldn't have thought that. He's amazing. And Divine Joy Randolph, I fixed it. It's not Divine, it's Divine. Divine Joy Randolph is unbelievable too. All 3 of them have great chemistry. They elevate this script and this story so amazingly. The music here is great. The editing here is really good. This film moved me, brought me to tears at a point. Made me laugh. Wow, it's just so amazing. It's so amazing. If this wins Best Picture, I will punch the air, run around a place with my top off, because I really am an advocate for The Holdovers. Special film, special story, and will go down years from now as an iconic film to me. If you missed it, it's still out in theaters in the UK here. Gotta check it out. Gotta check it out.
And little James Beam. All right. Oh! Presto, Cherry's Jubilee. Ooh. Shouldn't it just go out? Shit. How much alcohol did you put on there?
But I'm my number 1, my original. My number 1 when I first wrote this when I rewrote it because I seen new things. The one that could easily change with 2, but I love both of them unbelievably so much. My number 1 is Past Lives, Celine's Song. What a deeply impactful film, a quiet and subtle film that takes its time and really conveys its emotions so effortlessly. It's a mature story, it's a beautiful story, it's a personal one. You can tell it's a personal one. The cinematography is great. The music is underrated as hell. The performances from all 3 of the main actors here, Greta Lee, Teo Yo, and John McGarrow, are amazing. They deliver these lines so effortlessly. I think John McGarrow deserves more credit too, because he just makes this character that traditionally you would hate and makes it so likable and makes you care about him to the point where you're so conflicted about the core relationship that you're like, I don't know, because we're like Teo Yo, who is amazing as well. He's really underrated. I'm really glad he got a BAFTA nomination for lead actor. I'm glad to see that because he was great. Yeah, Greta Lee, robbed. Should have got an Oscar nom. What a just an amazing film. This is a slow film. I see people easily putting this on and turn it off after 10 minutes. I hate it when people do that. It's my biggest pet peeve in life. Just give the film a chance. Like, I seen this in the theater and I was gripped the whole time. It moved me so deeply. It's just everything about it. Man, them liminal A24 soundtracks, that's got to be one of my favourite genders, to be honest. I could talk for days about it. Like, it's just an amazing film. It's easily one of the best, if not the best of the year.
나영아. 이것도 전생이라면 우리의 다음 생에서는 벌써 서로에게 다른 인연인 게 아닐까? 그때 우린 누굴까?
모르겠어.
나도.
That's my top 10. I'm done. 10 lists until next year, if I'm still doing this next year. I'd recommend watching any of these films. They're all good, with a few amazing ones in there. So, I don't have much else to say. That's that. Subscribe and all that, like the video and all that. Thank you for watching. See you when I see you.